Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Sabrina Victoria. I am here with Lauri. I am so excited. We're going to be talking all about intuitive art for women business owners, women in business, women who have lives, women who are overwhelmed, women who have tried talk therapy and they're just not having it. They're sick of sitting on the couch. They're sick of just talking and talking and talking, and they want actual movement in their life. That's who we're talking to. If that's you, I want you to get comfortable. We're going to explore the trials, the tribulations of women worldwide. Lauri is here to offer some insights, some inspiration, some different ways to fuel not only your personal growth, but also your professional growth. Let's jump in.
Get ready, because today's guest is about to change the way you view your world. This is Her Talk Show, hosted by Sabrina Victoria.
Listening live, welcome. And if you're listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at. We're here every day, delving deep into the realms of health, wealth, and leadership with some of the most brilliant women globally. I've interviewed close to 700 women, and today we are adding another one to the list. We have Lauri. She is a creative catalyst and intuitive artist who leads through presence, not pressure. She channels energy into powerful abstract paintings, live at events, and guides transformative experiences using Neurographica Art. Girl, I've never even heard of this before. I'm so excited. Her work activates leaders to trust their timing, their intuition, and creative spark. Lauri's mission is clear: to help others remember that intuition isn't a side skill. It's the core of sustainable magnetic leadership. Welcome, Lauri.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, so excited. I love this word intuition. All transparency, I just started dipping into the word intuition. So I am so far on the other side of woo, like not woo for me. You and I are on the spectrum, are probably like off the screen. However, I had a conversation with a woman on a podcast. This is why I love podcasting so much. She was talking about intuitive, and I'm open to all the things, right? I'm not closed to anything, but I have my thoughts. And she starts talking about intuition, and she said it in such a way that made me recognize that, like, I follow my gut.
That's it.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, just the way she said it, like, oh, and this is why I think listening to other people's ideas and thoughts and theories, why I love podcasting, why I love people listening to our podcast, is like, it opens your eyes to like, so anyways, I would always talk in my business life about how, I'm a quick thinker. I'm very decisive. I follow my gut. And she was like, girl, that's your intuition. I was like, I'm 100%. a little woo.
We're all more woo than we think we are. We actually are.
I love it. So as we're diving in, for those that maybe don't know what intuition is, I'd kind of like to start with that, on your definition of intuition and why it's important.
I think that you sharing that you felt it in your gut is so important. As women, we are oftentimes made to feel like we have to make a split decision. And you know what? We don't. We can sit with the thought for a moment, and down in our stomach, our womb area, I always say, if you feel it there, you need to go with what your body feels like. If you are getting a strong, hard yes, then hit the floor running. It's a yes. But if you are having a glimmer or a twinge of maybe no, then you need to sit with it for a minute, and you need to stop, and you need to see how it makes you feel. That is your true intuition speaking to you. That is your soul in you telling you whether or not you should go ahead and make a decision or not. I've had so many times where, look, I'm a Gemini. I'm like here, there, over there, back there, in terms of decision making at times. And I've learned that I have to sit for a moment and think about it and feel it inside of my body and do what my body is telling me. 98% of the time, it's been the right decision when I've done that.
Wow.
That's my intuition speaking to me.
Wow.
And we all have that within ourselves. But as women and women in the workforce and in business, we aren't always given that time, but we have to take that time for ourselves, right? We have to listen to our inner core thoughts and our body, and not the wishy-washy, I'm not so sure, and backing down, or they said I should. No, we are women in power. We empower ourselves, and our intuition is what really is a catalyst for that. That is what can lead us.
Yeah. So 3 things are coming up for me right now as you're speaking. So there's intuition, which is what we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you're saying, because I just got done saying that I'm real fast, very, very decisive. And I love how you put a twist on it and you said yes, and also you can take a second. And I do agree. I do think that that is incredibly important. So there's intuition, right? So our intuition can guide us. How do we know as women, right? We're in business, we're trying to make money, we're trying to be decisive, we're trying to like run a family and provide and all the things. Some of us
All
are
of it.
moms. I'm a single mom. Like, dude, it's a lot of pressure. How do we know? How do you know? What do you teach your clients? The difference between intuition, fear, and impulse.
So the fear is a big part of it, right? We always, not, I won't say always, but the majority of the time when we are making decisions, especially as women entrepreneurs and starting a business, I'm a single mom as well. I am 59. I have twins who are not even 14 yet. So yes, you can all do the math for when I had my kids at the age of 45. Fear is huge.
Yeah.
But that is something that our intuition can help us walk through. That is something that abstract art can help us walk through and move through and feel it. And we have to own it, right? We have to sit with it. There are so many people who are like, oh, just get over it. I'm not just getting over it. It's a feeling. We're human. You need to feel it. You need to sit in it for a minute. But then you have to realize where your fear is truly coming from. Is it from a limiting belief that you've told yourself, a story that you have had in your mind because it's been ingrained in you for years since you were a child? Is it something that a boss told you formally and you now believe this of yourself? Working through that fear is a key component. It's a catalyst really for being able to move forward. It's what we have to get to the core of in order to know our whole and our purpose and trust that intuition, right? And to be able to then tap into it, to be able to know that we're making the right choice for us because it's our choice for us.
Yeah. Do you have any stories on that yourself of when you kind of had to decipher whether it was fear, where you're just like, I'm scared and I don't want to, but we're calling it intuition, but in actuality, you need to be doing the thing. You're just like scared to do the thing. So you're calling it intuition. Do you have any examples, I guess, of when you really sat and you recognized this is fear and
Absolutely.
I really need to be doing this other thing?
Today, let's use today as an example. Podcasts, being visible. I had a huge fear of judgment, the limiting belief that, well, no one's going to want to listen to me. I'm older than all of these younger people out there on social media and doing what they do and all of their followers. And I had to sit and realize that fear has come because I came from an abusive marriage. I've been divorced twice. I have been made to feel lesser than. I have worked through and recognized the fact that, you know what, when I was in 6th grade, I was in the low math class, and that has sat with me for years that I shouldn't be visible because I'm lesser than. But you know what? Damn it, I deserve to be visible, right? I am here. This is me. Take a look at me. I have years of experience, life experience, working through it. And it just, I worked through it all, and it now is like going live on Facebook. And thank you being so gracious to be able to be on podcasts and to share my story and to share what I do. The world is my oyster now. Whereas there was a time before this where I was sitting on my sofa and I was looking around my apartment and I just thought to myself, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? There is more to me than this, than sitting here, coming home, packing lunches, making dinner for my kids, doing bedtime, watching Real Housewives. Okay, it's my guilty pleasure. And then going to sleep, waking up, hitting repeat. Like, that is not what we're meant for. We're meant for so much more.
Yeah.
We're here for a purpose.
Yeah. Absolutely. Love that. Thank you for sharing. So how is intuition connected to art?
So first, let's start with the fact that people always say, I'm not an artist. I am not creative. I cannot draw, right? How many times do we hear that? Where does that come from? Let's back it up to when we were little. Oh, the grass has to be green. Oh, the sky has to be blue. Oh, your circle isn't round enough. It's wobbly and it's really an oval. Who cares? If the sky is purple to you, then it's purple. If it's orange, it's orange. If the grass is red, it's red. Like, that is your interpretation. And we've grown up with all these rules and parameters around creativity. We've lost our innocence with it. And I always say, we were born with 10 paintbrushes. If we weren't given 10 paintbrushes, then we were not meant to be creative. We're creative with everything. Did you make yourself a sandwich? Great, you created the sandwich. You're creative. Did you fold your laundry and put it in a nice drawer neatly? Fabulous. You created a nice, neat environment for your clothes. Intuition for creativity and in art comes in naturally when we are in a flow and a state of using abstract art. It's a meditative state. How many times have you, Sabrina, have you ever sat somewhere, even in a meeting, and you find yourself doodling, and then all of a sudden someone says something and you're like, oh, I'm in a meeting right now. I need to pay attention.
Yeah.
It's because your doodling is a form of meditation. It is then your intuition is taking over and your mind is not thinking about what's happening in the meeting. Your mind is now coming from your subconscious to your conscious to what you're putting on the paper. So that's how our intuition can work with abstract art. The feelings that we have, the fear that we have, the limiting beliefs that we have, all of that nonsense that's in our heads is put down onto a canvas. It's put down without having to say a damn word, right? How many times do people go to talk therapy? We sit on a sofa or in a chair and we're asked to talk about it. And then we're told what we're saying maybe isn't right, or the therapist just doesn't get us, or it's not the right combination. And abstract art opens that door where you don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word, and the most powerful outcomes can occur where when you are done, you look at your creation and guess what? That's when the words come. It's so powerful.
What does the session look like?
Well, I do in person and online. But if we talk about online, then we work through Zoom or Google Meet, any online format. And first I meet with my clients one-on-one. I have them fill out a form for me. We really take a look at what they're looking to break through, whether it's a fear, whether it's, I don't know if I'm making the right decision, even productivity, I'm not getting things done. I need help with being able to focus. Wherever their need is, wherever her fears are coming from, we take a look at that first because it's very important for me to know where to start. And then I nurture you through a session where I share with you the materials you'll need. And it's a process. Like you shared so beautifully with my introduction. Thank you. It's a process. It's not a rush. Like I'm not one of those people where, okay, we have a 30-minute time limit. You're not done painting. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. I book myself so I have enough time to be able to take my time with my clients because we are creating and you can't just sometimes shut off the creating mode, right? When you're in it, you're in it. And then there's always a follow-up. And so I never leave my clients hanging. We always have a follow-up. I check in probably usually 3 times after a session to see where they are, if they've booked a single session with me. And just a space of love, a space of no judgment at all, a space where you can be free. Like if you want to show up with a t-shirt and your underwear and a canvas and music blaring, let's do it. That's the flow coming through you. And so I really hone in on my clients, their specific needs. Everyone's an individual. It is not a cookie cutter. I can't do that. My own integrity, when I work with people in a creative mode, it has to be individualized.
So one session and then they're cured?
No, oftentimes, well, I'll tell you, there are some times when someone just needs an easy work through and I can work with one session. Oftentimes my clients meet with me 3 times as a minimum, because you can bring things up and then you recognize them, but then you have to move past it, right? It doesn't just stop. And things aren't just cured overnight. You have to be able to sit with it. You have to come back and have conversation. You then have to recognize what you can shift and what has shifted. And then sometimes there's the fear that, oh my gosh, this opened up a whole new world to me now. And my thought process has shifted. The limiting belief is gone, but now what do I do? How do I move forward? That's another session and conversation.
Got it. What are the, I don't want to say receptors because that's like so medical, but like, what is the difference mentally of speaking versus using your creative side?
Speaking, you have to think about what you're saying. You have to find the words. You have to process the words that you're finding. You have to then articulate them for someone to be able to understand. So as an educator, and I've been a teacher and an educator for 30 plus years. So I've worked with many people with processing issues. Some people find it very hard to put that stream of thought together and to then be able to articulate it. But when you're in a creative mode, your brain is in a meditative state. You are not thinking about it. That's the intuitive part. I often have my clients not even look. Close your eyes and just put your paintbrush in the paint. Whatever color you have been drawn to, that's your intuition taking you to it, and that's what's meant to be put down. You don't think about it. It's just automatic. You're just creating, you're in the flow. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to process how you're explaining to someone. And you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Like, you're already having problems and concerns and thoughts and fears. Like, I don't want to have to explain myself to someone again with all of that. This allows you to not have to worry about doing that.
What is like, what is a, like, what's an example of a breakthrough that somebody can expect to have? Like, I know that I've practiced, I know that I have practiced NLP. I'm actually a master practitioner. That's all words.
Right.
And the breakthroughs are massive. The aha moments that I've had are massive, where I'm like, oh my gosh. What are some of the breakthroughs that you see or that you've seen with some of your clients that have been impactful to you and the industry that you're in?
Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for my clients and the testimonials that they have shared with me and the things that they have said. I think that one of the biggest breakthroughs is that they feel that they have a safe place, that they've recognized themselves again. They had a safe environment in which to be themselves fully and wholeheartedly and to be able to let go. I've had clients who have come to me with huge, deep seated fears. And afterwards, they tell me that boulder that was on my back that I've been carrying for so long, it just rolled the hell off. It's gone. I am now clear in my thoughts. I know what I want. I know the direction I want to go in. This isn't holding me back anymore. I'm powerful. I have it within myself. I know I can do this. I mean, that's just it. Just every time I cry, every time someone writes something about the work that we've done together. Even working with coaches who have had me in their groups, sharing that those women that are in their groups online in an online space, that they've seen a shift with all of the people who were in a part of a workshop that I may have done. I work with mirror work too. That's a huge thing for us to see ourselves and to love ourselves with who we see.
Mirror work, like you talk in a mirror?
No, mirror work is holding up your reflection so that you can examine that inner child and examine what's holding you back. And oftentimes I personally, for my sessions, have someone bring a mirror with them to a session, and we are painting on the mirror while looking at our own reflection and creating breakthroughs.
Wow. Never heard this. Very interesting.
So many options.
What would you say are, because I know right now we have people listening live right now, and I can just only imagine the divide of like women that are like, oh, this is interesting. And women that are like, yeah, that's not my thing. What are some of the limiting beliefs around this sort of creative type of coaching or counseling or consulting? What are some of the limiting beliefs that that you're seeing, and maybe some breakthroughs around that?
Look, the largest one, Sabrina, is, like I had mentioned before, that I'm not creative. Like, BS, you are. That's the biggest that I have found. And it's the women who say, I'm not creative. This isn't for me. What am I going to do? Just sit there and draw flowers? No, you're not. You might, if that's what you need to do, maybe. But that's the biggest fear that I've seen. And once you go through the process and you allow yourself to let go and release and to trust the process, that's when the breakthroughs happen. I think that people are so used to being told, you need to speak to a psychologist, you need to do this therapy or that therapy. This has been around, but it has not been in the forefront. I think that as more people are waking up, shall we say, and leaning into alternative options and holistic options, that they see how powerful creation is. I mean, if we look back thousands and thousands and thousands of years, how did people tell stories and do things? It was through art, it was through a process of creation. I mean, just the stories that were told, the pictures on the cave walls, right? It's all a part of it. I think that people, if you are listening and you're out there right now and you are not thinking that this might be for you, just ask yourself, has what I have done worked?
It's good.
Has it? If it has not worked 110% for you, then you are not done.
Yeah.
And this is another modality that very well may provide that breakthrough for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you're saying another modality. I think there are so many. There are so many, and I think they all have their time and place. I know that I've used several different types. I haven't used this type up to this point, but there are several different types that I have used to clear certain issues, situations, challenges that I have regarding my mindset, my limiting belief, reframing, and they all have benefited me in one way or another. So I do think that that is so important. So for those of you listening live who, I'm going to tell a real quick story about religious trauma. I've done a lot of work in my life around lots of different darkness that I've been through. And one of them was religious trauma. And I thought I was good. One day I was on a networking call with a woman, and I tell my story a lot. I was 20 years old, got pregnant out of wedlock, raised as a Jehovah's Witness, got abandoned. My entire family disowned me. All my friends and family left. I led a stereotypical single mom, broke ass life, just like no money, ended up in an abusive relationship. So I'm telling her the story. And, part of the story was that I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. And that kind of was the catalyst that created this whole journey, because my parents, everyone disowned me. I ended up just by myself. Fucking abandoned. And usually when I get done telling a story, the person on the other line is like, dude, fucking crazy, and good for you for look at you now. I'm so proud. There's always something.
Yes.
This woman says, I am a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
And I haven't talked to a Jehovah's Witness. And the amount of power that I thought, whenever I would imagine confronting a Jehovah's Witness, I just imagined myself as just this powerful being showing up with all this success.
Right.
And look at all I've done despite what happened to me in my past. And that didn't happen. I fucking bawled to a complete stranger on a 20-minute networking call, like a baby. I couldn't even catch my breath. So much so that I couldn't talk, and she had to run the conversation because I couldn't speak. It was so bad. And I had opened up about this scenario that I had in one of my masterminds, and there was a woman in there who did trauma coaching. And she was like, I want to sit with you. I want to whatever. And it was a 30-minute session of some sort. I don't even remember. I mean, this happened 3 years ago, and completely cleared it. Completely cleared it. So the reason I'm telling this story to those of you listening is because we think we're on a healing journey. Well, I mean, we are on a healing journey.
Yes.
There's stuff. Even when you think you're so good, you're so solid. When I tell you that I was so certain in the way that I would show up when I was confronted by a Jehovah's Witness, and the way I would stand, and my clarity and my confidence, girl.
Yeah.
There was some serious freaking trauma that I was sitting on that I had no idea was there until that situation arose. So all the clearings I've done, all the breakthroughs I've done, all of the coaches and mentors that I've had throughout the years to clear a lot of the stuff, you can see just from that little tidbit that I told you, there's a lot of stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with. There's more. There's more, ladies. So this is another avenue. This is another avenue of a way to help. Not all of it. Nothing clears all of it, which is why we have to continue. Lauri just said this is a modality. One out of, I don't even know how many. Yeah. That could help you clear a certain part of your backstory to get you to another level of humaning better, being a better human. I love this. I'm so proud of you. I love what you're doing. I think this is great. For those listening live, how can they find you? Where do they hang out? Where should they go to find out more info?
So my main place is Facebook, Lauri Getlan-Watson. I use my personal page for everything. Going back to when we were talking about what I had to get over, that visibility, I decided I was doing that by posting it all. It was going on my personal page, not hiding myself in a group. So you can find me on Facebook. Just look Lauri Getlan-Watson. I'll pop up. Please follow, friend me. I love if you send me a DM and you say, I heard you on Sabrina's podcast. I would love to connect with you, just even to say, hi, I heard you. So I could say thank you to you personally. I am on Instagram at Lauri_abstract_art. But let's be honest, I'm still getting the hang of it. So I'm not regularly posting. But we talked a little bit about the intuition. We talked a lot about it. If you go onto my personal Facebook page, I actually have a free guide for all of your listeners if they want to download it. And just to get an idea of where I come from, we all are looking at how to lower our cortisol levels, right? That's stress and anxiety. Color plays a huge role in it. So if you want, you can help yourselves to a free guide on how color can affect your cortisol level. That's on my Facebook page. And just my DMs, my messages are always open. I'm happy to have a conversation with anyone at any time. Beautiful. Okay, maybe not 3 a.m. I'm on the East Coast, but if it's important, I'll do it.
I love it. And then as far as a website for those listening audio, what is your website so they can?
So my website is Heartful, HEARTFUL Creations, CREATIONS.org. Heartful Creations, all one word, .org.
Beautiful. I love it. So she hangs out predominantly on Facebook. I did look within like 1 or 2 posts, the stress and the cortisol free guide that she's talking about. There's a very simple link in that post. You can go there, follow her on Facebook, get that post, download it for yourself. And then her website, heartfulcreations.org. It is in a clickable link in the description below, wherever you're watching us at or listening to us at. So make sure that you check that out. This has been great. Any closing thoughts as we wrap up?
Oh, I just want everyone to know that you are special. You are who you are supposed to be. You are creative. You have it inside of you. And a lot of it is perspective. If we draw a spiral on a piece of paper, it looks like we're just going around and around and around looking down at it. But if you take that spiral perspective and you turn it so that it's upright, you know what it is? It's going up and up and up and up for growth.
Dude, I love that. Great visual. Great visual.
That's what we're about.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Lauri. For those of you listening live and still hanging out with us, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow, like, and share. This brings us to an end of yet another incredible episode of Her Talk Show. Thank you, Lauri, for all your insights, your inspiration. Once again, I am your host. My name is Sabrina Victoria. I invite you to join our amazing community, Her Nation Global, where we continue to have uplifting conversations just like this one to help you along the way. As always, until next